He allowed me to bring Emily back again to this conference. Ah, Charles Francois, what an adventure. Ah, Charles Francois, what an adventure. It was so easy for me to sell your title of Marquis de Maintenon to Françoise d'Aubigné and to sail for the Caribbean islands. One of my greatest successes. With one stroke, I placed myself right next to the King of France, with a mistress under my orders. And I was able to impose my law over the seas of the triangular trade.
Anyhow, I should try to concentrate on his voice. He's talking about Charles-François d'Angennes and Françoise d'Aubigné. They were contemporaries of Louis XIV. This has nothing to do with what brought Holm here. I had to look somewhere else.
Dear Countess Dunolstein, what a pity you disappointed me. Dear Countess Dunolstein, what a pity you disappointed me. He allowed me to bring Emily back again to this conference.
It's about my first vision on the island, the day of my arrival. This could be the beginning of the story, yet Holm is talking about bringing Emily back again. So there must have been something before this.
His children are gathered together? Yes, here. France, so much effort, so much wasted time.
Analysis is correct, but there's no link to what interests me here.
It was a trap right from the start.
Previous conference, that's when Mortimer started putting his plan into action. That's how this whole thing began.
It was a trap right from the start. At the previous conference 3 years ago, I'm sure he already knew I would bring the Hillsborough sisters here. He knew it. He knew it. He already knew they were his daughters.
Previous conference, that's when Mortimer started putting his plan into action. That's how this whole thing began.
I recalled Sparta.
One of Holmes' distant memories and one of his brothers. With an ego like his, he's undoubtedly talking about Mortimer. Could there be a link here? No, at the time they weren't enemies like they are today.
And when Elizabeth disappeared, No, it's not possible. I couldn't have missed that. Not me. He cut me off from our father, and I didn't say a word.
Elizabeth's presence was crucial for Holm. If she was still here, he'd still be alive. This memory is important without a shadow of a doubt. It took place after my arrival with Emily and Cardinal Biaggi, but well before I found out the truth about my nature.
I recalled Sparta. I didn't want to believe it. He feeds Louis, and I continue. He feeds Louis, and I continue to see nothing. He stuffed his poor son with an occult knowledge that we usually take months to give to our children, and Louis is only trying his best to get by. He doesn't realize he's being led to the slaughter. I recall Sparta. I must speak to you. And coincidentally, who arrives at the same time as Emily?
This is about my arrival, as well as Emily's. There must be an earlier memory that talks about my sisters.
And the cherry on the cake is
The blood that Mortimer used is deadly poison for a demon. Holm won't survive it. Oh, it's over for him. He's finished.
Dear Countess Dunolstein, what a pity you're disappointed. France, so much effort, so much wasted time. It was a trap right from the
Previous conference? That's when Mortimer started putting his plan into action. That's how this whole thing began.
At the previous conference 3 years ago, I'm sure he already knew I would bring
This is the first event that brought Holm here. Oh yeah, I'm on the right track.
He allowed me to bring Emily back again to this conference.
It's about my first vision on the island, the day of my arrival. This could be the beginning of the story, Yet Holm is talking about bringing Emily back again, so there must have been something before this.
I can't hold out. And the cherry on the cake is I drank his cursed tea. And coincidentally, who arrives at the same time as Emily? And coincidentally, who arrives at the same time as Emily? Louis de Richet, his son. He brings his 4 children together, and even then I didn't react.
This is about my arrival, as well as Emily's. There must be an earlier memory that talks about my sisters.
Ah, Charles Francois. What an adventure.
He's talking about Charles François d'Angennes and Françoise d'Aubigné. They were contemporaries of Louis XIV. This has nothing to do with what brought Holm here. I had to look somewhere else.
Dear Countess Gunolstein, what a pity you disappointed me.
I heard about this story. The Countess was apparently an acquaintance of Sir Gregory, but this has nothing to do with what's happening at the manor. I can put that one to the side.
Be quick! I recalled Sparta. And when Elizabeth disappeared, He feeds Louis, and I continue to see nothing. He feeds Louis, and I continue to see nothing. He stuffed his poor son with an occult knowledge that we usually take months to give to our children, and Louis is only trying his best to get by. He doesn't realize he's being led to the slaughter. I recalled Sparta. France. So much effort. So much wasted time. He allowed me to bring Emily back again to this conference.
It's about my first vision on the island, the day of my arrival. This could be the beginning of the story, yet Holm is talking about bringing Emily back again. So there must have been something before this. It's about my first vision on the island, the day of my arrival. This could be the beginning of the story, yet Holm is talking about bringing Emily back again. So there must have been something before this.
He allowed me to bring Emily back again to this conference, supposedly to find her sister, whereas Emma hadn't even disappeared yet. The poor wretch was shot as her sister was setting foot on the island. I should have understood that earlier. He allowed me to bring Emily back again to this conference, supposedly to find her...
I'm on the right track here.
He's coming! And the cherry on the cake is I drank his cursed tea.
The blood that Mortimer used is deadly poison for a demon. Holm won't survive it. Oh, it's over for him. He's finished.
And coincidentally, who arrives at the same time as Emily? And coincidentally, who arrives at the same time as Emily? Louis de Richet, his son. He brings his 4 children together, and even then I didn't react.
This is about my arrival, as well as Emily's. There must be an earlier memory that talks about my sisters.
And coincidentally, who arrives at the same time as Emily?
I'm getting closer to him.
France. So much effort. So much wasted time. It was a trap right from the start. I recalled Sparta. And when Elizabeth disappeared, No, it's not possible. I couldn't have missed that. Not me. He cut me off from our father, and I didn't say a word.
Elizabeth's presence was crucial for Holm. If she was still here, he'd still be alive. This memory is important without a shadow of a doubt. It took place after my arrival with Emily and Cardinal Biaggi, but well before I found out the truth about my nature.
He cut me off from our father, and I didn't say a word. And when
One more.
Elizabeth disappeared, I recalled Sparta. He feeds Louis, and I continue to see nothing. He feeds Louis, and I continue to see nothing. He stuffed his poor son with an occult knowledge that we usually take months to give to our children, and Louis is only trying his best to get by. He doesn't realize he's being led to the slaughter. He stuffed his poor son with an occult knowledge that we...
Getting to the end here.
I recalled Sparta. France. So much effort. So much wasted time. Ah, Charles Francois. What an adventure. Dear Countess Dunostan, what a pity you disappointed me. And the cherry on the cake is I drank his...
Blood that Mortimer used is deadly poison for a demon. Holm won't survive it. Oh, it's over for him. He's finished.
And the cherry on the cake is I drank his cursed tea. He trapped me. He poisoned me to stop me from being able to leave this body. He cut off all communication with Father and brought his children here. How could I not have seen it earlier? He's going to absorb me. The traitor! No one can stop him now. Hurry, Louis. I absolutely must see you before it's too late. If you have managed to follow my thoughts, come to me. Quickly. Louis, hurry! He's coming!
What's happening?
I can sense him. He's here. He's trying to get inside me, Louis. William has completely lost his mind. He's getting ready to pull out all the stops. He's going to devour my mind, Louis. I'm not going to be able to stop him.
Louis, you are here. I sense your presence.
What? But he can't even see me.
Congratulations, my son. You have succeeded in joining us.
Louis, don't let him draw you in there. You are signing your death warrant if you decide to follow him. I won't be there to protect you.
It's over, my son. We have won. A new order can be born.
Louis, I'm so weak. I can feel him entering. I can no longer keep him out. He's coming.
He's here.
I can. Can you see him?
He's here. He's coming closer to you.
Where? Louis. I don't want to just disappear. He's inside my mind. I can feel him crushing me.
He's just in front of you.
I'm so sorry, brother. There's nothing you can do to stop me now. You made your choice, and you have lost.
I was wrong about him from the very beginning. He's mad. He must be stopped. You can still do something, Louis. Don't let him get away with all this so easily. I implore you.
Look at yourself, Uncle. You're just as bad as he is. Despite being centuries old, and despite all the wisdom you should have acquired, I don't believe in you, nor do I believe in him. You can count on me to do my utmost so that neither of you will succeed in your plans.
You can be so stupid. As for me, I won't be around much longer. So if you want to stand the slightest chance against him, at least make sure you are armed, Louis.
What do you mean?
The lance, Louis. Have you got the lance?
It's over, brother. Don't fight it.
You will be punished for this.
Perhaps, but you won't be there to see it, will you?
You will be punished.
Where am I?
It's all right, son. Don't panic. It's over.
I'm back? Where are the guests?
I invited them to go up to their rooms. They're resting. Don't worry.
Gregory?
We won, Louis. It's over.
He's dead?
Definitively. Now the way is clear. At any rate, rejoice. Great things await us.
What did you do to him?
I devoured his soul.
But I didn't see you use the Holy Lance.
Indeed not. I didn't need to. Can't you guess how I did it? The Lance of Longinus is just a vessel, Louis. It could have been any object that had the blood of Christ on it. The blood of an ancient, more precisely. But I didn't need the blood of an ancient. You see, I have been in dear Lord Mortimer's physical body for longer than my brother has been in Sir Gregory Holmes. Therefore, I am an ancient, Louis.
He was your brother. Why did you kill him? He never meant you any harm.
Oh, Louis, I am exhausted. Let's talk about this later.
No, tell me why now. I want to understand.
Stubborn as a mule. After centuries of trying to convince him, I assure you I had no other option than to do away with him. He would never have allowed me to depose our father. In the past, he had already opposed me, and sometimes very violently. He seemed to you like a man of peace, because you did not represent any danger to him. But I can assure you, he was not. With anything to do with our father, he would be merciless. In any case, what's done is done. I'm going to rest in the dining room. Join me there when you're ready. The time has come to end this little antisocial gathering.
No doubt about it. This family is rotten to the marrow. I did right not to trust them. Right. All I have to do now is confront Mortimer. Right. Now's the time to join Mortimer. I won't be able to go back after... Duke Manuel Godoy. Monseigneur, His Eminence Cardinal Piaggi. Right. Now's the time to join Mortimer. I won't be able to go back after... Here we go.
Louis, at last.
You wanted to see me?
Let's get it over with, shall we? I've grown tired of all this. But before we begin, I would like you to give me back the Holy Lance, please. Now that Gregory is gone, you won't be needing it anymore, and I prefer to put it back in its place.
I no longer have it. So, at the insistence of Monsieur Bonaparte, I put it back in its place.
Come, Louis. You can't do that to me. Don't be childish, please. Come on.
So, at the insistence of Monsieur Bonaparte, I put it back in its place.
Come, Louis. You can't do that to me. Don't be childish, please. Come on.
Didn't Monsieur Bonaparte give it back to you?
No. So, the rascal stole it from you, did he?
It's not something I'm proud to admit, but yes. He thought I was trying to rob you, and that it would compromise the conference.
How typical of him. This conference will have been one of the most eventful I've ever known.
I'll just have to take your word for it.
Before I get to why we're here, you must know that I've been watching you very closely over these past few days. I won't hide the fact that I was disappointed that you did not succeed in saving Jacques Peroux. You handled that situation very badly. As for the door of my crypt, no one had ever found out how to open it before you. You committed a serious mistake in proving unable to tell your sisters apart, causing the death of the most promising of the two. What an unpleasant surprise it was when I found out that you had tried to warn the Papal States against Gregory and me. Did you really think you could succeed?
Damn it. He found out about that.
But the important thing is that you escaped the worst with Volner, because he could have killed you when you were in the guise of Piaget.
Yes, it was a bit touch and go.
Which leads me to a chat about what I envisage for you now. You are the chosen one, Louis. The one I've been waiting for all this time.
Thank you,
We are going to be able to become one.
I don't quite follow you.
Be proud of yourself, son, for you are the one I have chosen to be my next mortal coil.
But what about me? Am I imagining things, or did he just tell me to my face that he's going to eat me?
Unfortunately, no, you won't survive the transfer. But I want you to know that I only select my bodies from my own children, and that you are the one who has impressed me most. It's far from being my first time, as you can imagine. I didn't think it was possible to find a more promising son than dear Augustus. You can be very proud of yourself.
Wait a second, hang on. Do you realize what you're saying? Are you insane?
Oh, come, my son. Let's not end everything on a bad note, please.
Son of a bitch! He's not going to get away with this so easily. I won't let you do it.
What on earth are you thinking? That you'll be able to kill me? This is ridiculous, Louis. Come now, be reasonable. Don't fight.
I won.
Von Volner tightened his political and spiritual grip on King Frederick William. On the death of the king in 1797, Johann retired with his wife to his country estate in order to continue his work on his theological and alchemical thesis. Manuel Godoy's close relationship with Napoleon enabled him to claim a part of Portugal, as well as the protection of France upon the fall of the kingdom. He died in the company of his beloved mistress Pepita after recovering all his titles and properties. Napoleon Bonaparte continued his political and military rise until his self-proclamation as emperor. His excessive ambition would cost the lives of 1,700,000 Frenchmen and leave France poorer and weaker than ever before. Deported and imprisoned by the British on St. Helena Island, he died on the 5th of May, 1821, as an exile to general indifference. During his second term, George Washington had to deal with a number of rebellions. He enraged public opinion by building close diplomatic links with Great Britain, which forced him to give up a third term in office. He retired to his country estate until his death, without being able to implement the annexation of the highly coveted Louisiana Territory. His Eminence was obliged to justify himself on his return over the letter he had sent to His Holiness. His mental health was called into question, and consequently he was withdrawn from papal state power. It was said in polite undertones that he had been sent to a faraway retreat, the better to hide his anonymous confinement in an asylum of Rome. Nothing more was ever heard of Lord Mortimer. His sudden disappearance was a topic of conversation in the European courts, but only for a few months.